pick everything available. I haven't really decided, but
Hmm.
anyway. So you're playing Akali versus Yasuo, so I think he wins extended trades, you win short trades,
Hmm.
but definitely at level 6, I think you have advantage. That was
Hmm.
nice. That was nice. I think one thing, this is like sort of up to you, is I think you could start like with a more aggressive start, so you could go like Dark Seal, Doran's Ring, that sort of stuff in this lane, but
Okay.
it's also like, if you're not sure, definitely start with Shield because it's
Hmm.
just like it's always good, right? And then the other one's like if you feel really confident, you could get away with. So I don't think it matters much either way, but it's really just up to you.
Gotcha.
Okay, so far I think you're doing pretty good. You've got all three CS and you've harassed them. We love to see that.
Yeah, I try to do the single basic attack so I can use my spells
Hmm.
to harass and basic
Yeah.
attack just to get my CS.
Yeah. No, that's really good. I think the Q was sort of bad. Like
Hmm.
I think here it's like, well, look how much energy this is. And the problem is that he just hit level 2. So I think if he's smart right now, he just like dashes through this whole wave and just fights you. So
Right.
you didn't get punished for it, but it's like, I think the reason you were queuing, well, I'm actually not sure. Like, were you queuing just to try like thin this wave out maybe? Or,
So what I wanted to do is try to get my level 2
yeah,
fast. I was hoping that basic attack there would have killed that minion and
yeah.
possibly gave me level 2, but when I hit him and realized he had like 1 HP, I'm like, crap, I messed up. Minion's not dead, I'm not level 2. So I tried to throw the Q down to try to get the
Yeah,
level
get
2
level 2
early.
ASAP. Yeah, okay, no,
Yeah.
I understand why you did it. But yeah, obviously, you could have been punished pretty hard, but he didn't, and
Hmm.
you're chilling, so that's fine. You're gonna hit level 2. Cool. I think this is all good. Like, yeah, Yasuo is pretty strong at this point, and if you can keep the wave here, pretty nice anyway. Yeah, like, this is all
Hmm.
good. I actually think here, you should probably pull this wave a little bit. So, like,
Okay.
you probably know, right? Like, when Yasuo is in this sort of situation, like when the wave... Oh, you can see my mouse, right?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep.
okay. So when Yasuo is like here, it's really hard for him to ever play because he has to take extended trades, but he can't really because it's like under your tower. Especially
Hmm.
because you have Doran's shield, you have so much sustain. You could literally just walk a little bit up so that this creep wave
Hmm.
doesn't hit the tower, just so it stays right there. And I
Right.
think you'd be in
Gotcha.
a way, way better spot. And also that like the tower makes it hard to CS early as Akali because your CSing is sort of, well, it's just sort of weak early game.
Hmm.
So good. Yeah, see now it's like a little bit scary for you, like the way the lane's pushing back to him. This is like a bit harder for you to play out because it's like on his side and he has like more minions to dash through and stuff. But it's still like
Right.
okay. Not the worst. It's just obviously ooh, okay. You get a kill here, I guess?
I didn't. I didn't.
Ooh,
I was
close.
hoping the ignite would have killed him, and I was trying to
Yeah.
save my flash.
Yeah, no. I kinda respect that. So let's see. The auto was good. E, Q, ignite. I'm actually pretty surprised that didn't kill him. He must have lived on really low HP. Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand not going for the flash. Like, obviously, yeah, if you do flash, it's a kill, but it's hard to know, and it did look like he was dead. And either way, it's
Hmm.
pretty good. Like, you got his flash. You had to flash to Rengar. What happened
Yeah. Rengar popped up out the bush, scared me.
here?
He literally scared me.
Yeah, no, I
So I
get jump
flashed.
scared as well. Okay, I think the way you can sort of know this is if like you have your vision bot side right now, like down here.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
either way, you should be hugging to the bot side anyway. So it's just
Right.
like regardless of whether you know he's here or not, it's just like you're completely safe with your bot side and you keep your flash, but you don't die. So sort of all good. Now here, I think you definitely should have bought Dark Seal refillable. I think
Okay.
Boots is good against like some skill shot champions, like your mages and stuff. But against Yasuo,
Hmm.
like I think you can just go for the more like raw AP and not worry too much about the
Okay.
boots. This is really good. Like your wave's in a perfect spot. I think it's too many creeps to hold, so you let it crash, which is fine. Okay, one like really important thing here is that you're level 5 to him, his level 4, and the creeps are even, which means you're gonna hit level 6 first, but it also means that right now, like, you can trade with him pretty heavily. So like you should definitely stand more in line with this creep here. So you should be like right here maybe. You don't want to get hit, or like if he Qs you, it's fine, right? Because he loses the creep. Or if he Qs the creep, like you get to harass him. So right now, you're just a bit too passive, where it should be that you're actually like way stronger than him, just like right now, because you're level 5 and he's level 4. That's an opportunity where you can start poking him down in kind of like preparation to just one-shot him at level 6, basically.
Gotcha.
It's good though. Probably the ideal is to crash this and then have it. Oh, he just went on. Okay, good, good. And you hit the E.
Now this is where I got messed up. Moonboy. Yeah,
Okay,
that
yeah. I can. Okay, one
yeah.
way I'd say if you want to quickly fix this is you can. What a lot of people do is when they're taking fights or taking all-ins or stuff, they just like hold spacebar, so it's like lock screen. Now I don't do that. Like I just move my camera personally, but if like I've seen even pro players do this sort of stuff, and if you want to just like quickly fix it, just like yeah, I guess you can get in the habit of like just holding down space when you're going for an all in or something. Because I think yeah, here like, oh actually you might not have been able to kill him because
Yeah,
you
no,
didn't
I
have
ran out of
Q.
energy.
Yeah, you didn't have Q energy anyway.
Yeah.
I guess you
So
just end
this
up slightly too. Well, if you'd clicked away earlier, I think also you'd live like right here. At this point,
Okay.
you're fine, like if you just click upwards, but you like move in, which makes you take another tower shot. That's a pretty
Another two.
important death, because that was like, you were so far ahead and then now you're so far behind. Also, another thing though, if you had Dark Seal, you would have killed this guy for sure. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's another thing, like if you bought Dark Seal instead of Boots. So,
Oh yeah, because a little bit of AP.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, definitely would have
Gotcha.
killed him. But I mean, I think you're still, like, okay, that sucked, but you're still pretty strong, like Sork Shoes, Ignite. Like, it's still scary for him. You push that wave in. Come back to wave in time. Good. Happen here. I think here, like, you need to be really conscious, I guess, or like thinking a lot about the. If this guy does look to E into you, I think you can kill him, but as long as you just like react with your E. Like, I think here, if this guy dashes on you and you E him, I'm pretty sure you can kill him, especially because you have Evelyn right next to you. But here it's like, not only did this guy dash on you, you didn't use E, and then also you missed Q, I think? Oh no, you hit Q, sorry. You do hit Q. But like you lost all your HP for not much reason. This guy's no flash, so I think he's dead, right? Okay. I think also you could have done this a bit cleaner. What I would have done is I would actually, rather than oh, let me go back. I would probably E backwards here, and then you'd be in R range. So if you just like, yeah, throw your E backwards, then I think you're in alt range. You could probably E and W. Actually, what you could do is W first, and then E, so you have a way to jump back, and then alt, and then you can like E the way out. So it's like more advanced. It didn't matter here, because you get the kill anyway, but it could have mattered a different time. Now, this is kind of interesting. I think you should definitely push this wave, and if you feel scared to do it because of Rengar, you should ping your Evelyn and Thresh to help you. Because basing when this wave is like in the middle is pretty bad, because you basically deny yourself the entire wave. So that's like pretty rough.
Okay.
And I can understand being scared there because you're a bit low, but then you can ask like your team because they were right there. Because like actually, if you look at the map during the whole time, you lost one whole wave, and now I think you've lost another whole wave pretty much. Yeah, so you lost 2 waves basically because of your poor base timing. And so like it's stuff like that. Like obviously you can see us better, a lot better in terms of like your right clicking and stuff. But it's like you just lost what, like 13 creeps, I guess, a cannon wave and a regular wave. Not even from right clicking. Like it was just because you based at a poor time. So that's really, I'm not sure if it's easy to fix, but it's like really important for you to look to fix stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not really too good with the base timers. Like I know the concept of trying to base as the cannon wave is coming
Mm,
out so you can walk out with them.
yeah.
So it's like trying to like I have the idea, like I know it, I get it in my head, but physically doing it in the match, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I
hard to
don't do
keep
it.
it all in
I
your
don't execute
mind.
it. Yeah.
I think if you can just like try, well, I guess I'll talk about it more at the end, but I guess like having a really strong habit of like trying to push the wave before you base, unless like you really can't, that should just like be a really big thing for you.
Okay.
I think here, yeah, this is good. This is good. I mean, this is pretty good because to be honest, even if like you missed your E, right? Like you still denied him the
Mm-hmm.
cannon and all those creeps. So I think that was
Mm-hmm.
good trading out of you. I like that. And you have
So
you have ignite really soon, so you can look to kill him. Ringo shows top. Come roam. I think, yeah, I think this roam wasn't the best as well. I understand why you did it sort of because you want to cover this tower, but Gangplank has TP, so he's going to TP here anyway. And so what ended up
mm-hmm.
happening is like you walked up to this, and then you and Gangplank shared the farm, and Evelyn took
Mm-hmm.
midwave. Actually, did you even share the farm? You got like four, yeah, you got like 4 CS here, and he got the rest. Actually, I think you killed the Herald. That's what happened, right? Yeah, okay, you killed the Herald. So you got 25 gold for coming to this. Meanwhile, you lost like another 150 gold on your midwave because you weren't there. And then you just
Gotcha.
lost another midwave. So it's like, again, yeah, I guess it's going to be a really big thing for you. Like, you really need to be very careful about not basing and not roaming until after you push the wave because
Mm-hmm.
right now you've just lost so much gold for free. And I actually think you're still ahead of Yasuo, but it's like you're really far behind where you could be to
Right.
kind of like carry the game basically.
Yeah, that's definitely something I struggle with is like I said, it's the roaming, the
Yeah,
base timers, because so far my experience, I'm not really that good with clearing the wave completely and having enough time to like roam. That
yeah.
could
I
just
mean,
be a
that's
me
just an
thing.
Akali thing, to be honest. Like,
Okay.
she just has really poor wave clear. Ooh,
Yeah, that was panic.
that's okay. That's
Pure
okay.
panic.
I don't really mind stuff like that because it's like it's easy for you to recognize that's a problem, right? I don't need to
Hmm.
like talk about it, so
Right.
I don't really care about deaths like that. It's more the just the macro and well, and just the
Hmm.
game knowledge, I guess.
Yeah,
Good trades. I think you could kill this guy. Okay,
I think I
nice.
do
Oh,
here.
nice. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Recognize that.
Yeah, once he got on the other side of those minions, I was like, that's a clear RE
Yeah.
combo.
Here's like another example, I think, of you roaming before pushing the wave. You don't miss that many here. You only miss 2 for it, but it's like you're walking down the river when you have no business doing so.
Hmm.
And yeah, here again, like this wave needs to die, but you're like walking to another fight, and so all this time, like Yasuo's farming. And okay, look at this. So you come here, right, and you get an assist, and it's not even guaranteed that you get an assist though. But okay, you
Right.
get 75 gold, and then look at this like mid wave crashing under your tower. That's a cannon wave, I'm pretty
Mm.
sure. So it's like another what, like 150 gold, and you only got 75, and it wasn't even guaranteed you got the 75. So yeah,
Right.
that was like really big problem. Oh, this guy is legendary at 16 minutes. Okay, that was a
Oh
bit
yeah, that
fed.
Evelyn was carrying. Like she actually carried that whole match. Like this is one of the games where I didn't do so good, which is why I brought it to you. Because some matches I'm doing nice, I'm doing good, but then I'm not able to like end the game.
Hmm.
This one I actually fumbled a lot, made a lot of mistakes. So I was like, let me bring this one to him so he can go over and see me at my worst, you know?
Yeah, no, that's good. So this is. Did you actually work out a base with it? Yeah. Okay. So this is a pretty big problem. I think like. Okay. So first you can only build one mythic, obviously, and this is a
Hmm.
mythic. So if you're buying this warhammer, like you're building
Hmm.
towards divine, right? But then you can't.
Hmm.
It's like you got to choose between these two. In general, I understand sort of your mindset with this because like it is good to spend all your gold, but I think here like, you really don't want to start building another item before your mythic, especially. Like, okay, it's generally you want to just like build towards one item at a time, right? But especially with your mythic, the earlier you get your mythic, it makes such a big difference, right? So here you just buy more components for your um proto belt here, or you could buy a Dark Seal, but buying the Warhammer is like, I'd say almost a waste of gold. Like, not completely, right? But it's really not an
Well,
optimal use.
yeah, this match I specifically wanted to build something for the tanks on the team because
Yeah,
Nautilus has been just running rampant in all the games I'm in. So I'm like, let me try to build something to try to fight him late game. So I think it was him and one other person on their team that I was worried about. So I'm like, all right, I'll do Divine Sunder for my mythic, possibly go into a demonic embrace. So I was building a little
yeah.
bit.
Okay, you can do that. Like demonic and divine can be good, but if you've
Hmm.
already built like towards AP, it's kind
Hmm.
of like too late in my opinion. Like if you decide at
Okay.
the very start of the game, or rather before you buy your your revolver and blasting wand, then you can
Hmm.
do that. But you've already invested so much gold, and to be honest, you still could go like rocket belt and demonic. But
Hmm.
another thing I would say is that generally dealing with tanks isn't your role as an Akali. Like you will be killing like this Rengar, the Yasuo and their AD carry. You don't need to worry too much. Like okay, if they have like full tanks, then yeah, you can worry about it. But yeah, I think it's pretty bad. Just stick to the either a regular AP build, but no matter what build you're gonna do, just like fully commit to it rather than like
Okay.
splitting up your gold between like
Yeah.
different items here.
Yeah. And you'll see me, if I remember this correctly, you'll see me sell the the AP item because
Oh yeah, because you want to build
initially I
this.
started
Yeah.
out, yeah, it was like I started out doing what I normally do, like autopilot, and then my brain kicked in. I'm just like, wait, I'm supposed to be building Divine Sunder. So you see me sell it off for the little the blue thing, Sheen or whatever. But yeah, that was a brain fart on my part. Like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't do that. Like build towards one item because
Hmm.
yeah, you can't switch like this, especially because like on champs like Akali, you have to like snowball and you have to stay ahead and stuff like that. So any gold that's wasted is like really bad. Like it's easier, but still not great to swap items on different champs. But
Hmm.
especially on these sort of assassins, it's like it's 21 minutes, right? And you still don't have a mythic. And
Hmm.
you can like realistically hit your mythic at like 11 to 12 minutes. Like you can get it earlier, but I think 11 to 12 minutes is sort of a good time to get it for the most part. And so
Hmm.
having it not having it 10 minutes later is just it's it's unplayable almost, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're still so weak compared to what you should be. I think your Kali combos have been good though. So that's
Hmm.
cool. I think there's nice. Oh yeah, that guy is really fed. So he has your
Yeah, man. I'm
Baron.
telling you.
Oh, let's see what you did at a base. I'll go back. Ash is farming top. Okay, so here you definitely want to farm mid. So normally it's your goal to like farm the side lane in the mid game, but you just want to be able to
Hmm.
farm something. And so Ash
Hmm.
went and farmed top, which means you get to farm mid, but instead it's like you're just walking around and the mid wave is again, it's just like even and not really doing anything, you know, like it's just sitting there.
Hmm.
So you lose a lot of farm and a lot of XP kind of just like walking around, not really doing anything. I think here pushing the side lane is pretty good. I would actually probably keep going. So if your team fights without you, there's not much you can do about it. But the best thing you can do then is to get something for it. So if
Hmm.
you push another wave here, like you have Baron, right, and you have your Shroud and E, so there's pretty much no chance that you die, especially with Rengar dead. So you could push another wave and maybe even hit this bot tower, but because you base, now you don't get anything for it. Like they killed
Gotcha.
your team and you didn't trade anything for it.
Gotcha.
Group mid. This is okay because the bot wave's pushed in already. One thing might be helpful to you is like in the mid game, kind of like this. If you have Sweeper instead of Yellow Ward, it's pretty good on Akali because you don't really need Yellow Ward as much because you have a lot of mobility and stuff. So if someone like, if you don't know where someone is, like you can still play the game. But if you have Red Trinket, you can kind of get like better flanks and stuff and get better angles on their like backline and stuff. If you start a fight like this on Akali, it sort of sucks because okay, fight didn't start here, right? But ideally, you would be say like behind them, you would be over here or something where you could kind of get access to their backline. But if you just start a fight where it's like 5 people looking at each other, that's sort of the worst case for you. And maybe that's why you struggle more with like tanks and stuff because well, if you start in front of the tanks, you're like not going to be able to move basically. So, yeah.
Typically, I'll look to do the like the ADC backline type thing when I have Zhonya's, but this match because I wasn't building it, I was playing very different because it's like now I don't have a safety tool to get me out. Like if I dive in, I don't have anything to get me out. So, like this is a different, I guess, a weirder play style for me with not having Zhonya's to be safe, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I can understand like why you think that, but also you have like almost 3,000 health with your build. Like if you're going the tankier build, it's not as likely that you're gonna, you know, just like get bursted and die. Like you should be able to get out. And also if you have more HP, that's like more time for your cooldowns to come back up, like your E and your W. So I think you can generally get out. So you walk all the way here. See, this is pretty much a waste, I would say. Like you ulting a Maokai, even if you kill him, it doesn't matter, right? Like this guy is useless. You would just, I mean, well the thing is that 3 carries are dead, so maybe you can't do anything else. But I would probably just wait here. Maybe wait for him to commit a bit more. If you do want to try kill this guy, I mean you can, but I think it's sort of just like a waste of your cooldowns. Like yeah, you don't really do any damage to that guy. So you're going to Death Dance build. I'm on the map, grouped with your team. Ding. Okay. And end. Okay, let's write some notes for this game. So I think for you, there's like a lot of like gold and CSing fundamentals for you. So like your CSing in general, like your actual right clicking can be improved. So I would say like spending like 5 to 10 minutes in practice tool, like before you play or once a day or whatever, just like however often you want to do it basically. Just practicing purely right clicking creeps with Akali. And if you can get say like, if you can get somewhere from 80, anywhere from 80 to 100 in practice tool in 10 minutes, in 10 minutes, that would mean a lot because I think it would mean that you no longer have any problems with right clicking, like just like purely last hitting. And then also you need to be really like way more aware of minion waves. So like as a general rule, like try not to base / roam without pushing the wave first. I think you can just like make that a rule for yourself pretty much. There's like so much CS that you just like miss for free, and that'll make a really big difference for you. I think also hugging to vision, it was only a problem once, but it's something you could think about. Your itemization is like big in my opinion. I would say, honestly, I would say for now, you should just stick to one build pretty much no matter what and focus on thinking about everything else. Like, I would just focus on building up your fundamentals and just building like the same build every game. So what I would build is I would just go like, I would start, I think Doran Shield start is fine. You start Doran Shield and then go like, just build like Proto Belt and Sork Shoes and like Zhonya's and then like Rabadons or something like that. And just like try not to waste your gold on anything else. Oh, also you should well you should buy a Dark Seal in here somewhere. So yeah, something like this. You can buy your boost before Proto Belt if you want, but just like really commit to like going the right build and building in the right order. I think that'll make a really big difference for you because a lot of your stuff is just like, it's like getting more gold and then actually spending your gold. And so because you have problems with both of those things, you just end up so much weaker than you should be. But I think your actual like Akali mechanics and your Akali combos are good. You know, like I think you could definitely get to say, I don't know, like platinum with your current Akali combos without having, probably even higher, honestly. Like the combos aren't holding you back, is what I'm trying to say. It's like all this other stuff that you have to work on. I think also there was some stuff in lane. Maybe let's just go back and have a look.
I know we said I didn't pull the wave.
Oh yeah, that was a thing. So like yeah, the wave control, like wave frozen on your side is very valuable. So when you're like a champion that all ins and wants like space to run the enemy down, having the wave frozen will be really good. And it's even more important if you're against a champion like Yasuo, because he can't really play the game when it's frozen like that. So I think that was good. Yeah, your first base was fine. Those are definitely the biggest things from the early game. I think in the mid game, like, yeah, trying to find more farms. So just like being really aware, I guess, that anytime you're not farming or like in a team fight, you're kind of falling behind almost. So I guess like the way I try and think about it is, if you press tab and you just like note the objective timers, right? So like if you see dragon is spawning in 1 minute, that means like you should move towards dragon basically, right? So I'd say like 1 minute before dragon / herald / baron, like try be there. Oops, I just almost deleted everything. That was close. Otherwise, try find farm. So like side waves, like mid waves, cans. Basically, just try find some gold in the mid game, and I'd say mid game starts like probably at around 15 minutes or so if you want like a timer. Just like, yeah, so really trying to find more gold, more CS in that mid game so that you don't fall like so far behind for free basically. I think like, I guess like to work on, or like the biggest things to work on, like yeah, we talked about the CS thing, like practice tool thing. I think like the wave control, like that can be easily fixed. I think the biggest thing for you is like the value of minion waves, and just like less roaming in general. Just like always push first, you know, like push before you do other stuff. And your itemization, but that's easy to fix. I think like just like commit to one build, and then yeah, like find farm in mid game. So I think to work on these, like wave control, you could watch Akali like VODs, but I think like you already know, it's just you basically want it to be on your side. Itemization, you already know, always push first, or just put rule, like you can have that as a rule. Finding farm in the mid game, this is probably the hardest. I would say just like, again, like if objective is more than 1 minute away, find gold, basically. Like try and find something to farm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's see. We could take a look at this second VOD that you had. Video where you think you played I should as a mid laner, roaming and pushing, etc. Let me move this. Another great team, split for the win, solo ranked, Akali versus Veigar. Okay. Let's have a look. This game, yeah, Doran's Shield, I think, makes more sense this game. Although maybe you could still be greedy, but I think it definitely makes more sense this game than the last game. That's good. Skip ahead of.
Kinku couldn't control me. I do what they wouldn't.
Okay. Okay, just right click and CS. We'd love to see it. Good aggression. One thing you should be careful of is don't try pull the wave if there are too many creeps. Like you don't want to lose your whole health bar to try and make sure the wave's in a perfect spot. And most of it, or rather not always, will you be able to get to choose. Like sometimes if you're in a losing lane, right? Like it's like up to them to control the wave really. But it's just like in those situations where you can look to keep the wave on your side, then you should definitely look to do that.
Gotcha.
They can't stop me. I'm
Okay, Okay, this is pretty bad as well. I think you should, another rule that you can maybe consider is you want to trade when your opponent is like trying to go for CS, and you don't want to trade when you have CS to get. So like right now, no matter how good a trade you get, even if you get this guy to like 40% HP, you give up what, like a cannon worth of gold and like another creep. Yeah, so you gave up like probably about 80 gold, and
Right.
even if the trade is good, it's like it has to be like a kill for it to be worth it almost. So I'll write that down at the end, like having a rule about when you should trade as well will probably make this a lot easier. And then here, I think this is another situation where you really need to not use your spells here. You need to walk up in order, because otherwise, like now that you've used your spell, like okay, if you've got this, even if you got this creep here, right? The problem is now you can't walk up because you have no energy, so you can't get any more creeps. So you would have got that one creep, right? But now you can't. You could have got that one, to be fair, but like you can't get any of these back here. You kind of deny yourself like a ton of creeps for pretty much no reason. And this is quite bad, I think, when you're queuing this, because okay, I can understand like you're trying to queue him, but the problem is this will push the wave to him again, and this is like a hard spot in the lane for you to be at, because you know you can't really farm that well here. He can harass you and you can't really poke him back. So you
Yeah, I
want
think
this
when I
wave to
get the
push. There you go.
when I get the wave here, I always try to force it under so they can't freeze it, which is I think what I was trying to do there with queuing it, just throwing my spells basically at the wave instead of focusing on him
Yeah.
and trying to get the wave to go under tower so it can bounce back to me.
Yeah, no, it'll always bounce back after hitting the tower, basically, because like if you see the way, even though this is 6 creeps versus 6 creeps, right? The big difference is that these creeps have stacked up, which means they're all going to attack the same target. Like you can see how all of these creeps are hitting this one here. So
Gotcha.
despite you queuing the wave, this creep still died at basically the same time. So pretty much always, if you can crash the wave under tower, it's basically guaranteed that it'll push back to you. So you don't need to worry about stuff like that.
Okay.
That Q I don't really mind, because it's pushing to you anyway.
I love what I do. My enemies won't.
I think here you used a bit too many cooldowns on the wave again. Like I think one is probably fine, but here it's like you use another Q, so now you have no energy, and you also use your E, so you have like no threat anymore. You just lose it all, and especially because Zed was like sort of close as well. He was looking for a gank. If you'd had your W here, you might have been able to play aggressively, but because you used everything, you kind of couldn't. How did the wave end up here again? Yeah, so right now this is like good. If you can hold the wave here, and like there's no reason for you to push this, but instead you're clearing it out and pushing it back to him. So this is again just like what he wants basically. Yeah, so all this is pretty tough, and then yeah, see now he can freeze it, right? Because you let it push back to him and you didn't crash it under the tower. And so if he's smart, he can probably just base without pushing. Okay, yeah, you had to cancel.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, he's trying to freeze.
Yeah, that was a good cancel. Yeah, it's just hard for you to like get all the CS here, because you kind of just like, I think you're right, you do just have to shove this under tower now, but it like sucks because you can't trade on him, you can't get any CS, and you just like fall further and further behind basically. So the way he's pushing back to you, this should be really scary for him, because like the wave's on your side and you're level 6 with Ignite, so this is like, I'm pretty sure you could look to ult him, but he will probably cage, but you could maybe get his flash. To be honest, I don't mind not going for it as long as it means that you guarantee get all the CS basically, which you do. I think, although, okay, so you held the wave here, but I think you held it just so you could queue it, but I think it would be better to let the wave crash and to just last hit them all, so that you have energy to push this next one, because the problem is, again, because you started hitting this wave, and because the creeps are stacked, because they crashed into your tower, this is going to push to him, but you kind of have to base, like you can't really stay here, right? But like, look, now that you're coming back to lane, I think, actually, well, yeah, now that you're coming back to lane, you've lost like, what, 3 creeps so far, 4 creeps, and the wave's in a bad spot again, so the wave control is not really optimal. I think also your boot choice, this could have been Merc Treads if you wanted, like they have a Mumu and Veigar, which are like 2 AP CC champs. So it is a pretty good Merc Treads game. But if you do just like again want to commit to going one build to make it easy for yourself for now, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Here, roam timing is really bad in my opinion. Like, again, even if this works, it has to be, you need to get like 2 kills off this for it to be worth it, because you're leaving another giant minion wave to run down bot, and to be honest, even if you look at this, it doesn't look great, because they're both full HP, and I'm assuming they both have sums as well. So even though you have your jungler down here, it's not really like a kill angle. And so you gave up another, like, what, 2 waves for that roam or something? Okay, waves in a good spot again. I think thinning it out is fine.
Yeah, and also with this is, I think I was hesitant with all inning him because of his cage.
Yeah.
And then it's like I didn't want to get too close to his execute threshold for his R.
Yeah.
So I was trying to play a little bit more safer than I probably should have.
Yeah, I think it's easier if you do have Merc Treads, but there were probably some times you could have, but I don't know. To be honest, it's not... So obviously if you can get the kills, it's quite good, but the problem is you're losing so much gold in terms of everything else that it's like it doesn't even matter if you get kills almost, because you're losing like kills worth of gold just from not farming. You know, like here, you're going for another roam, but like the wave is in the middle, so this is 150 gold that you're about to lose, and you get this, and you get... this is like... Yeah, okay, this is so bad, because you flash Ignite, you've used like all your resources, and you get 75 gold. Like, you get 150 gold for staying mid and not using any summoners right now. So that's another really, like, really bad timer, basically. You do get 60 gold from the tower. Okay, I mean, at least you get a kill. But it's again, like, okay, you get... What? You got 60 gold from the tower, you got 220 from this guy, so you got like 280, and then another 75 from the assist. So it's like 375 gold-ish, right? But you lost 150 from a wave, you're about to lose another 150 from a wave, and that's a cannon wave actually, so it's more like 350. And this guy's about to take a tower plate, so despite you getting a kill and it going basically as well as it possibly could for you, he got more gold out of this. And he didn't do anything, he didn't take any risks. He didn't make any plays, and he didn't invest any resources. Whereas you, right, like, you took risks, you like invest the resources, and you're still behind because of it. So that's like why roaming at bad times is really, really painful. I really need to make a roaming video, because to be honest, and like all the people I've coached so far, the biggest problems have been like roaming and side laning. I've seen that like all the time, and I don't have a video on either of those. But it is really cool to see, like, you know, when people have fundamentals that I've talked about. You know, like when you were like pressuring him when he was like going for CS and stuff like that in the Yasuo game. Cool to see stuff like that.
It's like I watch the videos, I try to take it in, and then I watch another video, and it's like, well, let me try and shift my gears, my mindset, and work on something different, and then I forget the initial stuff I watched.
Yeah, no, there is so much to learn in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm just repeating myself at this point, but it's another bad roam. Like, the wave is not in a good spot, and I think a lot of people have this like misconception that Akali is like a roaming champion, and she's not really. Like, Akali's wave clear sucks, and to be honest, Akali's early game in general is not very good. It's when Akali gets her first item, she just becomes like the best champion in the game for the next like 10 or 20 minutes, you know? So you really want to get that first item as quick as possible. And I think here, like, if you look, right, you have 67 CS at 12 minutes, at least you have 0 deaths. If you had just, like, not missed all that CS from just, like, your random roams and stuff like that, if you literally just AFK farmed mid, you'd probably have your mythic by now. And if you find a level 6 support or ADC or whatever champ this is with a mythic, you just one-shot this guy. Like, it's not even close. And also, once you do get your mythic on Akali, you'll have enough AP that you can actually clear the wave in like a reasonable amount of time, and then you can start looking for roams. So yeah, basically you're just like putting yourself further and further behind when you can't really afford to. Let's see, this looked like it was a kill.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I gave
no.
that one up, and I tell you the reason why is, again, right here. Actually, after this, I could have simply RQ'd after this, but I was worried about his R.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I think because I don't think you can R here in time, but you can maybe look to just RQ him, like you said. I
Right? Yeah, at this
think.
point, after the
Yeah,
cage
yeah,
drops, he steps back up, and he's in my range, and I could have
yeah,
100% hit the right there, right there. I
yeah,
could have
yeah. I
R.
saw it.
You know what? I'm like, man, if he presses that R button, I'm dead.
He
So I
doesn't
was like, let
have
me
it
bring
though, right? He
it
must
back.
not have it. Because
I think
otherwise, surely he would have ulted you here. Let's actually go back. I'm
oh,
pretty sure he would have used it in this fight.
that
Or like, I
was
hope so anyway.
that might have
Okay,
been
yeah, so he just used it then. So he
yeah.
he doesn't have it. But also, yeah, I mean, you maybe could have played a bit better. I'm wondering if... No, I don't think you can... I'm thinking, is there a way you can kill him before the cage? But I don't think so. Like, your Q's just almost off. But again, it's like, if you have more AP items here, because you have more gold, like, it's not even
Then
a question, right? Like, he just dies. So
yeah.
it's that like butterfly effect of all those mistakes you make before. Now make it to where rather than you getting a free kill, it's now like a skill check that you have to pass to
Yeah.
like sort of ensure that you get it. Like that
Gotcha.
you stayed base. Um, oh, wait, you just flashed it and killed this guy. Okay. I think, again, yeah, I'm actually going to say again, I think this was sort of bad that you went to this. And the reason is like, okay, once again, the mid wave is here, right? But I understand like walking to a dragon fight with the mid wave is here because that's like, it's more acceptable, right? Because it's closer and it's like more important. But the main problem is here is you have no ult, no flash, no ignite. So you're actually useless. Like, to be honest, Akali without ult is so useless. So right now, you should just push this wave and like, you probably have to get the dragon, but that's just like the reality of not having your ult here because instead it's like you lose, again, you lose all this farm mid. You have to invest your flash for a kill that's not guaranteed. Like, Amumu doesn't have to queue in here. And if he doesn't,
Right.
I'm pretty sure you're dead. So you get 300 gold, but I would say it's luck. And also, I'm pretty sure you again missed about 300 gold worth of creeps because it would have been 2 waves mid. So, yeah, again, it's just like you miss so much gold for free. Coming top here is good though. That's good that you're gonna come farm this. Good. That looks pretty dead.
Yeah, he dies.
Ooh.
But while it's on my mind, with the Kali specifically, when I have a matchup where I can't get prio, I
Yeah,
can't outclear my opponent, I end up stuck mid lane. I
yeah,
see fights breaking out top bot. I can't get to them because I'm stuck trying to push the wave under tower. Because I did
yeah,
adopt that mindset before these few matches I did, where it was like if the wave is not under the tower being shot by the turret, I'm not leaving my lane.
yeah.
But what I found was a lot of times my side lanes were just dying left and right. And I'm just like, now I'm in the match where my whole team is 0 and 10, and I'm the only person with some sort of CS.
Yeah, no, that
You know what I
can
mean? Like, how do
definitely happen. Like it's sort of like a reality of playing Akali. The best thing
you...
you can do is try keep the enemy mid laner mid with you. Like if you can
Okay.
keep him pushed in and not allow him to leave, or if he does leave, if you can get so much gold, like you take the turret plates, you like deny all the CS and stuff, then you'll be strong enough to carry at that point.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, because to be honest, like the roams you went for this game, like you didn't really add anything, like
Yeah.
the kill up here would have happened anyway. The dragon fight, like it doesn't make a difference, right? So it's, yeah, there are games maybe where you would need to roam to win, but it's like Akali, like if you can't roam, you can't roam. That's just like all there is to it. So here
Okay.
could also be a dark seal buy instead of the cloth armor. I think that would be much better. Got a lot of farm during this time. That's level 11. I guess you probably still kill him. Doesn't really have any
He
items.
just dies on repeat this game.
Nice. 100 gold, by the way. Oh my god, you got 112 gold for killing this guy. Okay, well, you get the kill. I think you're definitely right. Like, your side laning this game is actually good. You're pushing the wave pretty far. You're killing your laner, like, over and over, basically. I mean, yeah, you push the wave all the way. Like, okay, that's actually perfect, by the way. like pushing the wave like pretty much all the way to here, so that it'll always bounce back. You can base, and then you can like, yeah, either go around on the map or you can run back top in time. So that was like perfect what you did there. You come to this fight, you get a really good flank. Okay, so you played this like really well. I think you probably could have just gone through the MF ult here, because she's level 8. Like, okay, if she's like at level 11 or something, it's probably one-shots you, but yeah, and I can understand being a little bit scared because, you know, it is MF ult. It does normally do way more damage than it does.
Yeah.
But you played this fight really well, like really well. I'm impressed by that. Yeah, because this is how it should look, basically. Like, in my opinion, your roams didn't impact this game at all. And they just, like, it's rather, your roams didn't stop your side laners from inting, you know? Like, they didn't really affect it. All they did was put you behind, and you're still pretty strong. Like, you're still able to carry this game, but you could have, like, 50 to 60 more CS just from not roaming at bad times, and then you would just be, rather than being 7-1, you'd be like 15-1 or something, you know? You would just be just murdering the whole game, especially because you like obviously play fights and skirmishes well enough that, like, if you do actually spend your gold well and get enough gold, like, you will always do well, basically.
Gotcha.
And this game is a lot better, obviously, with your itemization. You've put everything towards items that are going to be useful, obviously. You push the wave, and then you move down. That's smart. I don't know if you can kill this guy, can you?
No, and that's the thing with Amumu, I never know. It's
Yeah,
like,
that guy's
does
so
this guy die
tanky.
or no?
Yeah, okay, this is a pretty bad death. I think, again, this is like, you should, rather than, okay, there's like two things. The first is like, okay, you can know maybe that Amumu's too tanky for you to kill, right? But the bigger thing is you really don't want to invest, again, like, HP, like, time or cooldowns onto killing tanks, because it's just, if you ult this guy, it means that you have no ult for, say, like, a minute, and that means that's like one less 80 carry dying or something, right?
Gotcha.
Even if you could kill this guy, I don't think it would be super worth it. So it's like, yeah, you can know maybe that this is like too tanky for you, but there's a bigger problem, which is just, it's a waste of your time, pretty much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We can just skip ahead a bit.
Youth and skill every time.
Oh, where did you go out of base here? Okay, so you came mid out of base. Dragon's sort of soon. Okay, yeah, I think here again it's like, if dragon is spawning and you want to be close to it, you should then probably try find some farm on the bot wave, or try find some farm in the mid wave, because again it's like you're just standing here, you're not farming anything for this whole time. I guess it's not as bad because the bot wave is coming towards you, but like if you never actually go to that bot wave, then it'll really suck. So let's see what you end up doing. Thank you. Oh wow, that did a lot more damage than I expected. Okay, I can forgive that death. That was pretty crazy. Did 900 damage. That's ridiculous. That champion is really broken though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is again you're coming top, which is like, it's sort of right because you need to be on like the Baron side ideally because you don't have TP, but you never got to farm that bot wave and it's gonna crash soon. So I'm pretty sure in the last like 2 minutes or 3 minutes you haven't farmed a single creep. I'm actually gonna go back. Yeah, like you have 107. Okay, you have 117 CS here when you die, and then also like 3 minutes later, you still have 117 CS. You haven't touched a single creep during this time, which is, it's super bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a big problem, obviously. I think I'll just skim through the rest of it because I think it's mainly going to be probably the same mistakes coming up. Probably. We'll have a look. You get that kill. Yeah, I think it's good actually. This guy's still quite a big threat, so killing him actually does make a difference. Nice. And you're building Rabadons, I assume. Yep, very nice. Yeah, okay. I would say literally just do this build every game for a while, and then work on everything else. And then once once you feel like confident in all the other stuff, like then you can work on the build, because Akali's itemization is actually pretty in depth. There's like a lot of different things you can buy. You can buy basically every item and it's good at like some stage. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this is a poor fight right here. It's really bad.
Yeah, I think here you could actually just E backwards to get over the wall, and then you'd be in a super good spot. Because I think you like E to try hit it, but I think if you just E'd over, you probably would have been in a good spot. Either way, I actually don't think you play it that badly, because like your position is still really threatening. Like it's not like you're walking straight at them. It's like you have a flank again. So I think, okay, maybe mechanically you played it bad, but positionally you're in a pretty good spot for this fight.
Yeah, I think it's this part. I think
Okay.
it's this part. This is where I just greed and go in for a kill that I don't need, and I get hit with the very thing I've been trying to avoid the whole game. Veigar's R.
Yeah, I think this is again like you could play it better mechanically, but you're just doing the wrong thing, like game knowledge wise. Like you shouldn't be trying to go on a Mumu. You should even just save your R2 here. So like you've still got a bit of time on it, right? You can just wait for someone to show in here, because as soon as like this Veigar shows, you can one-shot this guy right now. If you just like Proto Belt and then like RQ him, I'm pretty sure he dies, but instead you're just killing someone that's like pretty much useless. And so now the fight's really hard. Try to be a bit greedy here, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. Yep. 100% greed.
Skip ahead. Go to another team fight. Good flank. Oh my god, you do so much damage.
Right,
Close.
like they
Ooh, very close. Let's see. You played this better. Yeah, I think it probably would have been better to flash ult here rather than use your W, because I think you need your W. Well, I don't know. You can, if you W, I guess you could WER and like E the shroud so that you can go back to it afterwards. Basically, you need a way to get on this guy without like using all your tools. And the problem is you use pretty much everything. So now you have no choice basically but to ult away. Like you can ult in, right? But you're still going to be in range of everyone. You could kill this guy, and again, this is like if you had more CS, like if you were level 18, if you had any more AP items, this guy dies regardless of what you do, and that would be so big, right? Because then you would just like get out. So
Gotcha.
I think it's like again a skill check that could be avoided just by smacking them with your wallet kind of thing, just you got a ton of gold, it just won't be an issue. I'm in here. Nice. Yes, good. Yeah, I mean, there's like room for improvement in your team fights, but your team fights are pretty good. Like your team fights aren't really your biggest issue, like by a long shot. I think that's pretty much it. Is there another fight? Maybe
think
one
here
more.
we just push. We do get a little kill at the end, but we just push down mid. Nothing fancy.
Oh, nice. You have sweeper. We love to see it. Oh wait, do you? Yeah, that is your sweeper. Nice.
Yep. And that's something I honestly need to do more.
Yeah.
I for some reason just never got in the habit of buying a sweeper. Like this is one of those rare occasions where I brought it.
Nice. 1v9 team fight. Yeah, you smurfed it.
Oh, Akali things.
Yeah, she smurfed it. Alright. Write some notes for the second game. So I'm just going to add to this, to be honest. I think, again, it was just like a lot of your early game stuff was the exact same. Like this, the basing and roaming without pushing, this is losing you a lot of creeps. Like literally like 60 creeps a game or something. Everything else was pretty much the same. In the mid game, I think, I don't know. Actually, to be honest, pretty much everything from this game was the exact same from the first game. I guess like the biggest like TLDR or like the biggest thing for you to work on is going to be your CSing, but not just from the not just in terms of last hitting, but just like you really need to find or get more gold and XP like from CS pretty much. And you should try like maybe try hit benchmarks. Like I don't really like benchmarks that much because in some games it's going to be way easier than others, right? But I don't think in either game you got like 200 CS. I think if you could try get 200 CS at like 28 mins, or it could be good. And if you can kind of in the early game, actually, yeah, let's just write some. If you can maybe get like 70 to 80 CS in a real game at 10 minutes, this would be like a really good goal. And then maybe like if you can get 120 to 130 at 15, like you can get more, right? You can definitely get like 150 at 15, but if you can like consistently, to be honest, after 20 minutes, farm is a lot less important, mainly because by this point the game should be mostly decided. Like not every game, right? But if we can go like 180 or 170 to 180 20 min, something like that, if you can try get these a bit more or just like focus on getting it, it'll put you in a much better spot to carry the game. And especially if you're like spending your gold well on the right build, I think it'll make like a super big difference. So yeah, do you have any questions about like anything?
Let me see. We covered the roaming.
Yeah.
I guess in general, practicing the CS, do you think I should be doing this in ranked matches as far as trying to get those benchmarks, or trying out norms at first? Like, how do you recommend practicing?
Yeah, good question. For me, I'd say I don't think it really matters, but if you do feel sort of like, I don't know what the right word is, maybe like ranked anxiety, or you feel like really pressured in ranked games, like there's like a lot going on, then I would probably just try it in a normal game. I think, yeah, you could just definitely try in a couple normal games, see if you can just get it. And that will also, I think, make it a bit easier for you to just ignore your team, because it's like, you're kind of worried about your side laners a bit in ranked, which I don't think you need to be, but like if that's the way you feel, you could just try normals because like you don't care as much about the win or loss. But yeah, I think that would make a really big difference, is if you could just try getting some of these on Akali. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that and the roaming. And I'm gonna, like, honestly, I don't mind ignoring my side lanes. I really don't. I don't have a problem away from team fights. If I'm like, okay, that's a losing fight, you guys go ahead and die. I don't have a problem doing it. But I guess I'm trying to find that balance where it's like, okay, you can potentially carry this match and win if you rotate into fights more.
Yeah.
You're, like that's the fine line I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
with
no, I know exactly
how.
what you mean. Like there definitely shouldn't be you just never roam or anything like that. But the problem is you need to like recognize good roams and stuff right now. And right now you're just at the complete opposite end of just you roam all the time, and
Mhm.
it's not even like a decision process for you. It's just you just
Yeah,
roam, Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, that's solid. That's solid.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just I'll upload the session for you and link it to you later when it's uploaded. And yeah, if you have any other questions anytime, you can just like